Hello, folks. Welcome back to the show. Stephen Bowden here with The Slice. Roger Federer just beat Daniel Evans, but did he struggle or did Daniel Evans just play really well? We're going to get into that. Also, big upsets today at the Australian Open. A man known as the South African Eagle went down. We're going to get into all of that on this quick hitter episode of The Slice.
Welcome to The Slice.
Welcome to The Slice.
Thanks for tuning in, folks. Thanks for sticking with us in this Australian Open coverage from up here in Canada while they're happening. The action is happening down there in Australia. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Federer just played Daniel Evans, and this was one of the juicy matchups that I talked about in my Australian Open preview, which if you haven't watched is right here, about one of the matches that I was most excited for in these early rounds because of their matchup as far as styles go. That's what I thought. So basically what happened was it was a pretty tight match, and Federer looked like he might have struggled from the outside, but I don't think he actually really did struggle. So because he actually played a pretty clean match. He served, first serve was 68% in, which I think is if he does that, he's going to win pretty much every match he plays. That's pretty good. He hit 11 aces. He didn't hit too many unforced errors. He got a bit tight in different areas, but I think that was mainly due to Daniel Evans playing an extremely clean match and an extremely counter-punching match. I think that actually Daniel Evans' style, which is similar to Federer's, where he's doing a lot of slicing backhands, kind of playing really smart tactics and hitting not just normal rallying baseline shots, grinding it out, almost threw Federer off a little bit. But it didn't seem to get into Federer's head as much as I've seen him get put off in the past by random weird stuff. It was an intense match. Federer was frustrated in different parts, but he did hit the ball really cleanly, served big when he needed to, and just won two tight tiebreak sets. Daniel Evans only made 11 unforced errors in the first two sets, so really you just have to hit winners past him or make him in super uncomfortable scenarios, and that's what Federer had to do. But it's a lot easier said than done. Anyways, so I was super stoked on the level of that match. It was awesome to watch. 3 sets. So in the end, it was actually fairly routine for Federer, and I think it was a good rhythm match for him in these early rounds, which is what you want so that these top guys kind of get their gears moving. They get more into things. So I think this was definitely a positive for Federer, obviously, because he won. But I just think the style of play was actually also a positive for him. Also a positive for Daniel Evans. I think his comeback is inspiring. As you guys know, I've talked about a lot. Friend of the show, but I interviewed him in August at the Vancouver Open, which is a challenger in Canada. And he had to qualify for that because his ranking was so low after his year off suspension. He had to qualify for the challenger. He ended up working his way all through that, winning that challenger after I talked to him. And he said here that his goal was to make the Australian Open qualifiers.
What would you say that by the end of 2018 would be your goal for as far as your results and rankings?
Well, I'd just like to be in the Australian Open qualifying, so yeah, that'd be a good start for next year to be in the Australian Open qualifying.
So not only did he make the qualifiers, he qualified, won the first round, and gave the best player of all time, the GOAT, in my opinion, maybe not yours, a good run and played some amazing tennis and showed that he has a lot more skill and ball striking ability than most players out there. And I hope that his ranking can keep going up and that he can get into more tournaments. And I want to see him more on TV because he's an exciting player to watch. So that's cool. Bravo, Dan Evans. The Slice is in your corner. In other news, Kevin Anderson, the Eagle of South Africa, is out. Big foe, Francis Tiafoe, took him out by serving 74% first serves in, which is exceptional. I mean, if you're serving 3/4 of your first serves in, I don't know how you'd lose a match ever. So he stepped up big time and won in 4 sets. Now, that is good news for Nadal fans, and Nadal is very happy, I can tell, because his quarter is wide open now. Kevin Anderson is out, which was his biggest threat. Also, Kyle Edmund is out. Also, John Isner is out. So the only big name in that quarter still is Grigor Dimitrov, and he might be turning it up. You never know. He might be finding his rhythm again after a subtle year off. But I think Nadal has a lot of opportunity here to walk through to the quarters and then to the semis, where he'd hopefully probably play Federer, and then he's got a great opportunity there as well. So now the Nadal camp is probably pretty happy right now, and a bunch of opportunity has opened up. So that was a quick recap of the action that's happened in this day 2 of the Australian Open. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Again, big announcement coming in the second week of the Australian Open. If you haven't yet, subscribe. And thanks again for watching. I love you all, and we'll see you very soon, because also tomorrow is another episode of second annual Aussie Open style watch backed by popular demand. So I'm getting up. I'm thinking about the outfits. I'm taking notes on them. And I'm seeing what's hot, what's not, and what you should cop and what you should drop. So stay tuned for the Aussie Open Style Watch coming at you soon. Thanks for watching, folks. If you want to become a better tennis player, click this subscribe button and you'll be able to play exactly like Roger Federer.